Some of you look like ice creams which have melted over the floor.
Neki od vas izgledaju poput sladoleda koji se istopio na podu.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I wanted to start today by really telling you a little bit more, or guiding you a little bit more into what this dimension of Krishna consciousness which we are talking about is. It is really the sacred space in which we want to bring you.
I danas bih želela da započnem time što bih vas poveo tamo gde se nalazi upravo ono što čini svesnost Krišne. Radi se o svetom prostoru.
This, I mean, we are simply not in on our spiritual level, but we are somewhere else where we are easily disturbed and made happy by external things.
I mi se jednostavno ne nalazimo na duhovnom nivou, već smo često ometani stvarima koje su van njega i onda bivamo nesrećni u našem životu.
Do you know that in your heart there is a lake?
Da li znate da se u vašem srcu nalazi jezero?
And do you know that on the shore of the lake there is a banyan tree?
I da li znate da se na obali tog jezera nalazi banjanovo drvo?
And do you know that under the branches of the banyan tree is a temple?
I da li znate da se ispod grana tog drveta nalazi hram?
And do you know that inside the temple you find a golden personality who is God?
I da li znate da se unutar tog hrama nalazi zlatna osoba koja je Bog?
If you have not visited this lake of love in your heart,
I ako niste do sada posjetili jezero ljubavi u svom srcu,
and if you have not met the Lord in the temple of your heart,
i ako niste sreli Gospodina u hramu vašeg srca,
you will be dependent on external things.
Onda ćete biti ovisni o spoljašnjim stvarima.
Things which are not under your control.
I to su uglavnom stvari koje nisu pod vašom kontrolom.
Therefore, in good weather you are happy, and in bad weather you are distressed.
I zato kada je vreme lepo, onda ste srećni, a kada je vreme loše, onda ste uznemireni.
So, in this seminar, I would like to help you a little bit to find your own sacred space, your own lake of love. It's also good in the summer, you know, when it's so cold, so hot. To have a refreshing breeze from a lake, not bad.
Tako da ono što bih ja želela da uradim na ovom seminaru jeste upravo da vam pomognem da pronađete taj sveti prostor, da pronađete to jezero u vašem srcu, što i nije tako loše kada su ovakve vrućine, da osjetite taj hladni povetarac koji duva obalom jezera.
To enter this wonderful sacred space is only possible through a spiritual road.
I kako bismo ušli, kako bismo otišli na to jezero svetog prostora, to je moguće jedino ako uzmemo duhovni put.
And I will teach you one of these roads, which is thinking of Krishna.
Ja ću vas podučiti jednom od načina na koji možete doći do jezera, a to je misliti na Krishnu.
Thoughts have such an impact on our body and life.
Naše misli imaju tako veliki utjecaj na naše telo, na naš čitav život.
I can guarantee you, I would make a meditation with you about a lemon.
Ja vam garantujem, kada bih sada napravio meditaciju sa vama o limonu,
with the sour lemon taste,
i kada bih govorio o tom kiselom ukusu limuna,
your taste buds would produce saliva.
Onda bi odjednom u vašem ustima krenulo da se stvara pljuvačka.
If you think of a loved one intensely, in your heart there will be a feeling of love.
I ako mislite intenzivno na voljenu osobu, onda će se u vašem srcu probuditi osjećaj ljubavi.
If you think of health, you will be healthy, and if you think of disease, you will be ill.
Ako mislite o zdravlju, onda ćete biti zdravi. Ako stalno razmišljate o bolesti, onda ćete se razboliti.
There was once a famous doctor.
Jednom živio je jedan poznati doktor.
And he told me a story.
I on mi ispričao jednu priču.
Once there was a sultan.
Jednom bio jedan sultan.
He was very sick, very ill.
I on je bio jako bolestan.
He lived in a kingdom.
I on živio u kraljevstvu.
And for 20 years he could not leave his bed.
I čitavih 20 godina nije mogao napustiti svoj krevet.
He had asked many doctors for help, but when the doctors could not help him, he killed them all. And there was a long, long row of white skulls before the wall of the town.
I onda je on pitao mnogi doktora da mu pomognu, ali oni to nisu bili u stanju i zato ih je sve ubio, tako da je ispred zidova grada bila duga kolona njihovih lobanja.
Finally, there was no doctor left in the whole kingdom, and the Sultan was just before his death.
I na kraju više nije bilo ni jednog doktora u čitavom kraljevstvu, a sultan se nalazio na svojoj samrtnoj postelji.
He asked his minister, "Is there anyone left who can help me?"
I onda on upitao svog ministra, da li postoji iko ko bi mi mogao pomoći?
The minister shook his head and said, "You killed all the doctors."
A ministar je odmahnuo glavom i rekao, pa sve si poubijao, sve doktore.
However, there's one doctor who is 100% successful in treating all diseases.
Ali ministar mu je rekao, ipak postoji jedan doktor koji je 100% uspešan u lečenju svih bolesti.
The Sultan said, "Why have you not told me about this doctor before?"
I sultan ga je upitao, zašto mi ranije nisi rekao za tog doktora?
"Oh, Your Majesty, this doctor is crazy. You know, he speaks so bad and he does such eccentric things that you wouldn't be able to tolerate him."
Ministar odgovorio, vaše visočanstvo, taj doktor je tako lud i on priča takve loše stvari i takve ekscentrične stvari da jednostavno ne bi mogao da ga tolerišeš.
The Sultan said, "Bring him, I'm dying."
Sultan je rekao, dovedi ga, ja umirem.
When the doctor arrived, he was silent, didn't open his mouth.
I kada je doktor stigao, on je samo čutao, nije ni otvorio usta.
"Can you help me?"
Da li mi možeš pomoći?
The doctor was silent.
Doktor je samo čutao.
"Reci!" The minister said, "I told him not to speak because when he opens his mouth, it's intolerable for you."
A ministar odgovorio, ja sam mu rekao da samo čuti zato što čim otvori svoje usta, to će biti nepodnošljivo za tebe.
The Sultan said, "He can tell me anything."
Sultan je rekao, može mi reći šta god poželi.
"I'm dying, don't you understand?
Zar ne razumeš da ja umiram?
I need help."
Potrebna mi je pomoć.
So then the doctor spoke.
I onda je doktor progovorio.
"I will treat you under 3 conditions," he said.
Ja ću te lečiti samo ako ispuniš 3 uslova.
First condition, send everyone out of the palace. I don't want to see that people see you in a moment of human weakness.
I pre svega želim da svi napuste palatu zato što ne želim da te iko vidi u trenutku ljudske slabosti.
Second condition, you can keep your guards.
Drugi uslov jeste da možeš da ostaviš svoje čuvare, svoje stražare u
But you
palatu.
have to tell them for 1 hour, whatever order you give them, they shouldn't follow it. If they follow it, it means the death.
Ali i moraš ih upozoriti da u toku čitavih sat vremena koju god naredbu da im daš, oni je ne smiju slediti. U slučaju da je slede, to znači sigurno smrt za njih.
Third condition,
Treći uslov,
give me your fastest horse and a bag of gold, and bind that horse on the gate into the town.
treći uslov je daj mi svog najbržeg konja i na njega stavi vreću punu zlatnika i ostavi to konja na ulazu u grad.
The Sultan said, "These are strange conditions, but I agree."
Sultan je rekao, to su stvarno čudni uslovi, ali ja se slažem.
"Okay," said the doctor, "send everyone out now."
U redu, rekao je doktor, sada pošalji sve napolje.
When everyone was out, he said, "Okay, now I will do what I always wanted to do. I wanted to spit into your ugly face."
I sada je doktor rekao, sada će najzad uraditi ono što sam čitao u životu želeo uraditi, onda je pljunuo u njegovo lice.
And the second thing I also will do what I always wanted to do. I wanted to urinate in your mouth.
I onda druga stvar koju sam uvek želeo da uradim, uvek sam želeo da obavim malu nuždu pravo u tvoje usta.
Sultan said, "Kill him," to his guards.
Sultan je uzviknuo, ubijte ga svojim stražarima.
But his guards turned the face to the other side. They knew if they would follow the order of the Sultan, they would be killed.
Ali stražari su samo krenuli svoje lice na drugu stranu i su znali, ako sada slede te naredbe, onda će biti ubijeni.
And the third thing is so bad, I am shy, I cannot tell it to you, because this was already too much for you.
I treća stvar je toliko užasno da ne usuđujem se čak ni da vam je kažem, ovo drugo već bilo previše za vas.
Sultan, remember, there was a sword just next to his bed.
I sultan se setio da se mač nalazi na nekoliko metara njegovog kreveta.
Great pain. He got out of his bed.
I onda se sa velikim bolom on je ustao iz svog kreveta.
Wait, he said.
I rekao je, sačekaj.
And he went out of his bed. He had never walked for 20 years. He was so ill.
I on je ustao iz kreveta, iako čitavih 20 godina nikada nije izašao iz svog kreveta.
Somehow he managed to get that sword.
I nekako je uspeo da uzme taj mač.
To kill that doctor.
Kako bi ubio doktora.
When he looked outside of the room his room was empty. There was no doctor.
Ali onda kada je pogledao uokolo, onda nije mogao vidjeti doktora, njegova soba je bila prazna.
He somehow managed to get down the staircase.
I onda je nekako uspeo da se spusti niz stepenica.
It took him half an hour, but finally he managed to climb his white horse.
I onda mu je trebalo dobro vremena, ali na kraju uspeo da se popne na svog belog konja.
He raised his sword.
I onda je podigao svoj mač.
The warrior became alive in him.
I ratnik je postao, ratnik u njemu se probudio.
And he started to gallop.
I on je krenuo da galopira konja.
But the doctor had escaped from his white horse with a gold bag.
Ali doktor je već pobegao sa svojim konjem i sa svojim zlatnicima.
1 hour later, the guards and the whole army found the Sultan laughing and lying in the desert sand.
I nakon sat vremena stražari iz palate su našli sultana kako se smeje i smeje ležeći u pesku pustinju.
And he said, this rascal surely has earned his money.
I on je rekao, ovaj nitkov je definitivno zaslužio svoj novac.
I'm healthy.
Ja sam zdrav.
I can ride a horse.
Opet mogu da jašem konja.
I'm activated.
Ja sam se pokrenuo.
See, the doctor knew the Sultan had become sick because of his mind.
I doktor je bio taj koji je razumeo. Sultan se razbolio zbog svog uma.
And when he shocked him so much that he could no longer think that he was sick, but he started to somehow walk and ride a horse, he became healthy.
I onda ga je toliko šokirao da je sultan zaboravio, više nije mogao misliti na to kako je bolestan, već se jednostavno pokrenuo i ustao i onda je čak i jahao konjem.
Krishna says in the Gita, our mind is either our worst enemy or our best of friends.
Krishna kaže u Bhagavad Giti da je ili naš najbolji prijatelj ili naš najbolji neprijatelj.
And the extraordinary power of chanting the holy name and talking about Krishna is that it makes our mind, which has unfortunately become our own worst enemy, it makes that mind into our best of friends.
Izvanredna moć svetog imena i čitanja, pevanja o Krišni, mišljenja na Krišnu, jeste upravo ta da naš koji je postao naš najgori neprijatelj, pretvori naš najbolji prijatelj.
By learning to hear about Krishna and letting that sound vibration work in our heart, our mind takes us back to Godhead.
I tako što naučimo da slušamo o Krišni, ili tako što naučimo da slušamo vibraciju i dopustimo da utiče na naš to će nas odvesti nazad Krišni.
Have you heard about Dundukari?
Da li ste čuli o Dundukariju?
He had killed his mother.
On je ubio svoju majku.
He lived with 5 prostitutes in the house of his parents.
On je u kući svojih roditelja živao sa 5 prostitutka.
And he was very bad.
I bio je zaista loša osoba.
A criminal and very cruel even to his prostitute friends.
Bio je kriminalac I bio je zaista loš čak I prema svojim prijateljicama prostitutkama.
Finally, these prijateljicas decided we have to kill this demon.
I najzad su te prijateljice odlučile, u redu, sad je vreme da ubijamo ovog demona.
And they bound him tied him to the bed when he was sleeping.
I oni su ga one zavezali za krevet dok je on spavao.
And they tried to stab him with knives.
I onda su pokušale da ga izbodu noževima.
But Dundukari was like Rasputin. He could not be killed so easily.
Ali Dundukar je bio potpuno raspućen, on nije mogao biti ubijen tako lako.
He screamed in agony.
I on je vrištao u agoniji.
And the prostitutes thought, my God, the king's men will come in. So they took burning wood and put it into his mouth.
I onda su prostitutke mislile, onda sada će doći policajci, onda su uzele goruće zapaljeno drvo I stavile ga u njegovo usto.
This is how this criminal died.
I to je način na koji je taj kriminalac
He became a ghost afterwards.
I onda nakon toga postao duh.
No new human body.
Bez novog ljudskog tela.
And he suffered very much.
I patio je jako puno.
Until his brother came, who was the saint.
I onda se pojavio njegov brat koji je bio svetac.
Gokana was his name.
Njegovo ime je bilo Gokana.
Gokana came back from a long pilgrimage and stayed in the house of Dundukari.
Gokana se vratio sa jednog hodočešća I ostao u kući u kojoj je Dundukari živeo.
There Dundukari, the ghost, attacked him in his ghost body. Oops! In his ghost body.
I onda ga je Dundukari napao u svom telu duha.
With a satanic laughter.
Sa satanskim smehom.
Gokana said, wait.
Gokana je rekao, sačekaj.
Listen to this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Poslušaj.
Yeah, so he chanted. That's what you should do when you are attacked by ghosts in office works.
I onda on krenuo da mantra sveto ime, to je ono što trebate raditi kad god vas napadne duh, to uvijek funkcioniš.
And Dundukari asked his brother, save me.
Dundukar je zamolio svog brata, molim te spasi me.
And Gokana said, yes, I don't know how.
Gokana je rekao da, ali ja ne znam kako.
And but he received guidance from a person from the higher planetary systems who told him, read the Bhagavata to the brother.
Ali onda on dobio uputstvo od jedne osobe sa više planetarnim sistemom koji mu je rekao, samo čitaj Bhagavatam svom bratu.
Gokana read the Bhagavatam for 7 days for Dundukari, who was in the body of a ghost.
I Gokana je čitao Bhagavatam čitavih 7 dana svom bratu koji se nalazi u telu duha.
When he had finished reading about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vimana came and with the Vishnu Dutas, and out of Dundukari's ghost body, a liberated soul in a black body and a nice crown and white dhoti emerged.
I kad je on završio svoje čitanje Bhagavatama, tu se pojavila Vimana I iz tela Dundukarija, iz njegovog tela duha se pojavila predivna osoba koja je bila tamnoputa, imala je zlatnu krunu I beli doti.
The whole village saw it.
I čitavo selo je vidjelo ovo.
And Dundukari, the rest was liberated and was about to go back home, back to Godhead.
I Dundukari netko bi bio oslobođen I samo što se nije vratio u carstvo Božje.
At first, the whole village screamed, protest, checking. We have also listened, why don't we go back to Godhead also?
Ali pre nego što ih je napustio, čitavo selo je započelo da protestuje. Čekaj, mi smo također slušali Bhagavatam, zašto se mi nismo vratili nazad Bogu?
This is unfair.
Ovo nije fair.
We were sitting in the Bhagavatam lecture, we are staying here, we have to go tomorrow to the field and work like donkeys and this Drundukari goes back to God, and this is not fair.
Ovo nije fair, mi smo isto sedeli ovdje, isto smo slušali Bhagavatam, sutra moramo opet izaći na polje i raditi poput magaraca, a Dundukar i nitko se vraća nazad Bogu, to nije fair.
Krishna said, yes, there's a difference in your hearing.
Ali Vishnuduti su rekli, da, ali postoji razlika u načinu na koji ste slušali.
You have thought of so many things while you heard the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Vi ostali ste mislili na toliko puno stvari dok ste slušali Srimad Bhagavatam.
You were not as attentive as Drundukari.
I vi niste bili pažljivi poput Dundukari.
Drundukari listened as if his life was dependent on this.
I Dundukar je slušao kao da sam njegov život zavisi od toga.
And because he listened with full attention, he will go back to God.
I upravo zato što je slušao sa punom pažnjom, on će se vratiti nazad Bogu.
So the village in which this happened decided to make a Bhagavatam, give it a second try. After, I believe, a quarter of a year, a second Bhagavatam reading was done, and they have learned the lesson and then get on back to God.
I onda je čitavo selo odlučilo da nakon izvjesnog vremena opet ima čitanje i slušanje Bhagavatama i onda je čitavo selo se vratilo nazad Bogu.
I want to make a point here.
Želim ovdje da dokažem jednu pointu napraviti.
If you want to take full advantage of Krishna consciousness and come into this sacred space in the temple of your heart, you have to be a little bit more spiritual.
Želim da kažem da ako želite da u potpunosti iskoristite priliku koja vam se pruža u svjesnosti Krišne, onda jednostavno morate doći u sveti prostor svog srca i i morate postati više duhovni.
You have to be a little bit more attentive, Radha Kripa.
Morate biti malo više pažljivi.
You have to be there.
Morate biti prisutni.
So many people communicate, but who connects nowadays?
Toliko puno ljudi ovih dana komunicira, ali ko su ljudi koji se zaista povezuju?
So many times people chant the Hare Krishna mantra, but who really connects with Krishna does not just.
I toliko puno ljudi mantra Hare Krishna, ali koji su oni koji se zaista povežu, koji nisu samo oni koji samo izgovaraju određene slogove.
You have heard so often the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Čuli ste toliko puta Srimad Bhagavatam.
But have you been attentive?
Ali da li ste bili pažljivi?
Have you connected to the subject matter?
Da li ste se povezali sa temom?
Have you really listened as if your life, your spiritual life is dependent on this?
Da li ste slušali onako kao da vaš život, vaš duhovni život zavisi upravo od toga?
If not, this is a good place to be, because you will learn it.
I ako niste, onda je ovo dobro, pravo mesto, zato što ćete to naučiti.
Today I would like to start reading a verse from the Bhagavatam for you.
Danas bih želeo da započnem tako što ću pročitati stih iz Bhagavatama za vas.
And this time your task will be to absolutely sharpen your listening.
I ovog puta vaš zadatak se sastoji u tome da izvršite svoje slušanje.
You have to follow the text, almost like a little calf follows a mother cow to drink milk from its udder.
I vi bi trebalo da sledite, da pratite ovaj tekst, upravo poput malog teleta koji sledi svoju majku kravu, želeći da od nje pije mlijeko.
It is our first exercise, and then when the vegetable boilers, the vegetable cutters are finished, and there will be no more sound, then we will actually meditate today about Krishna.
I ovo će biti naša prva vežba, a onda kada bakti koji seckaju povraće, kada su oni gotovi, onda ćemo imati zaista našu meditaciju danas.
Kavan Chaitanya, puno snaga. See, yesterday we talked about how Krishna left went into the forest of Vrindavana.
Jučer smo razgovarali o tome kako je Krishna napustio selo Vrindavana i otišao u šumu.
Today I want to start the Venu Gita and tell you how the gopis saw Krishna disappearing in the forest of Vrindavana.
Danas bih želeo da započnem svoje predavanje na Venu Gitu time što ću vam reći kako su gopi vidjeli Krishnu kako odlazi.
It's one of my favorite scenes in my own remembrance of Krishna.
I to je jedna od mojih omiljenih scena kada se ja sećam Krishna.
But there was a night in Vrindavana.
Bila je noć u Vrindavanu.
And the little cowherd boys would get up in the night and went to Nanda Bhavan, the house of Nanda Maharaj, where Krishna slept.
I mali dječaci pastiri, oni su se probudili, ustali i otišli u Nanda Bhavan, gdje je Krishna spavao u kući Nanda Maharaja.
They could not wait any longer to be with Krishna and knocked at the door.
I oni nisu više mogli čekati da se Krishna probudi, onda su zakucali na vrata.
When Mother Yashoda opened the door, she said, "What do you want?" And then they said, little boys, "Krishna, when is Krishna coming? We want to go cowherding."
I onda je majka Yashoda otvorila vrata i zapitala ih, šta želite? Oni su rekli, želimo Krishnu, želimo da idemo s njim da čuvamo krave.
And Mother Yashoda would lovingly grab the sakhas by the shoulders and point them around and said, "Excuse me, this is the night, you still need to sleep. And my kanai comes out in the morning."
I onda majka Yashoda ih onako brižno uputila za ramena, okrenula i rekla, sada je noć, sada trebate spavati, možete doći kad se moj kanai ujutru probudi.
So the cowherd boys came 3 times each night, thinking that now is the time where Krishna will come out and go with us.
I svake noći dječaci pastiri bi došli čak 3 puta, misleći sada je vreme kada se kanai budi i kada idemo u šumu.
They were so bad for Krishna's darshan.
Oni su bili tako ludi, željni Krishnanog daršana.
Then finally, when the morning came, they all were fast asleep in their beds.
I onda kada se najzad razdanilo, kada je došlo jutro, oni su čvrsto spavali u svojim krevetima.
At that time, Krishna thought, "Oh my dear friends, they have not slept the whole night."
I onda je Krishna mislio, o moji dragi prijatelji, nisu spavali čitave noći.
They came for me.
Oni su došli po meni.
Now I will come for them.
A sada ću ja otići po njih.
So he came out of the palace and went to all the sakhas and cowherd boyfriends' houses and blew in his horn, buffalo horn, which is called Nanda Ghosh, right? I think Nanda Ghosh. Now wake up, come, we want to go for cowherding.
I onda je on izašao i otišao iz njihovih kuća i onda je duvao u svoj buffalo rog i rekao mi, hajde, sada je vreme, idemo.
So all these little boys would come out of the houses and they would go to the cow sheds, and then a huge ocean of cows were herded by Krishna and Balarama and the sakhas, and this ocean was flowing out of the village of Vrindavana.
I onda bi svi dječaci pastiri uputili bi se ka štalama gdje su krave i onda bi čitav okean krava tekao kroz ulici Vrindavana.
It's a beautiful scene.
To je predivna scena.
Krishna surrounded by his loving cows.
Krishna koji je okružen svojim voljenim kravama.
Krishna talking to the cows mooing back.
I Krishna koji priča svojim kravama, a onda mu odgovaraju tako što muču.
Only Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda are not happy, and the gopis, because Krishna is leaving them now.
Ali sada oni koji nisu tako srećni su Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, majka i gopije, zato što ih Krishna napušta.
And Yashoda walks next to him and does last adjustments on his turban.
I onda majka Yashoda hoda pored Krishne i čini poslednje pripreme nameštenom turban.
And then she starts to cry, "Why did you have to take birth in the family of cow herders, and now you have to work so hard in the forest?"
I onda ona čak plaši i kaže, zašto si se morala roditi u porodici, oni koji čuvaju krave i sada moraš raditi naporno svakog dana.
And Krishna is getting a little bit disturbed.
I Krishna to pomalo iznemirao.
Mother, let me go now. You stay in the village.
Majko, pusti me da sada idem, ti samo ostani u selu.
And then Yashoda says, Balaram.
I onda majka Yashoda kaže, Balaram.
My little boy doesn't know his limits.
On mali dečak, on stvarno ne zna gde su mu granice.
You should always walk a little bit before him.
I ti treba uvek da ideš malo ispred njega.
And protect him.
I da ga štitiš.
And this is now the scene which is described.
I ovo je sada scena koja je opisana.
Nanda Maharaj and, Krishna and Balarama, surrounded with a cowherd, leave the village, and the gopis see them leaving.
Krishna i dečaci pastiri i Balaram napuštaju selo sa svojim kravama, a gopije ih gledaju.
And they start to speak to each other.
I onda oni počinju da razgovaraju jedni sa drugim.
Gopya uchu achanvadam palamidam naparam vidam sagya pashum nadiveshayato vayasyai vaktram vrajesha sudayo anaveyoshtam Dervani Pitamanuraktakataksamoksham. The cowherd girl said, "Oh friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the sons of Nanda Maharaj are certainly fortunate."
I onda gopije kažu, o prijatelji, one oči koje mogu vidjeti predivno lice sina Nanda Maharaja su definitivno jako srećni.
Look, Krishna and Balaram enter the forest now, surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them. Look!
Pogledaj, Krishna i Balaram, oni ulaze u šumu okruženi svojim kravama i dečacima pastirima. Pogledaj.
Krishna and Balaram hold the flutes to their mouths.
I Krishna i Balaram, oni drže flauti na svojim usnama.
And then, because Balaram walks in front,
I onda kako je Balaram bio ispred,
Krishna is a little in the back and he always turns around and looks lovingly at the residents of Vrindavana.
Krishna se nalazi malo iza njega i onda se on stalno okreće i gleda s očima punim ljubavi na stanovnike Vrindavana.
For those who have eyes, we think there is no greater object of vision.
I za one koji posjeduju oči, mi smatramo da ne postoji veće ispunjenje za oči.
So just imagine this scene. Krishna, with all the cowherd boys and cows, is at the back, and he looks to the residents of Vrindavana who he leaves behind.
I samo zamislite ovu scenu. Krishna ide napred i onda se stalno okreće i gleda u stanovnike Vrindavana koji su ostali iza njega.
And by looking at the cowherd boys, looking at the residents, he gives them life.
I samim tim što on gleda na stanovnike Vrindavana, on ih vraća u život.
See, this happens every morning when we look at the deities.
I vidite, ovo se dešava svakog jutra kada ne dođemo da vidimo božanstvo.
It's actually not so important that we see the deities with our eyes. It's more important that the deities see us with their eyes.
I ono što je zaista bitno, nije toliko bitno da mi vidimo božanstvo našim očima, ono što je bitno jeste da oni nas vide svojim očima.
Because when Krishna looks at someone, there's a certain medicine coming out of the corner of his eyes, which is called Sudakara, which gives life to the spiritually dead and for those who suffer because of separation from Krishna.
Zato što iz Krišninih, iz ugla njegovih očiju dolazi jedan lek koji pomaže onima koji su duhovno mrtvi i također vraća u život one koji pate u odvojenosti od njega.
My dear devotees, I can only recommend you to put yourself in a position where Krishna can look at you.
Moji dragi bhakti, jedino što mogu da vas zamolim jeste da se stavite u položaj u kome Krishna može da vas vidi.
When Krishna puts your glance or his glance on you, you will actually get spiritual life there.
I kada vas Krishna pogleda, onda ćete dobiti nazad svoj duhovni život.
Therefore, you should stand more before the deities.
I upravo zbog toga trebalo bi da više stojite ispred božanstava.
Don't be so reserved and stand 5 meters away from the altar. Come close so that Krishna can see you.
I nemojte biti rezervisani, stojati 5 metara od oltara, već priđite bliže tako da vas Krishna može vidjeti.
We hear that Krishna's Kaura boyfriends had drunken the poisoned water of the river Jamuna. They all died.
Mi čujemo da kada su dečaci pastiri popili otrovnu vodu iz reke Jamune, da su oni svi umrli.
At that time Krishna came and looked at his friends who were lying down dead near the waters of the Yamuna.
I onda je Krishna došao i pogleda na svoje prijatelje koji su ležali mrtvi pored na obali reke Jamuna.
And just by looking at Krishna's the friends became alive again.
I samo zbog toga što je on pogledao na njih, dečaci pastiri su ponovno oživjeli.
There's so much power in Krishna's eyes.
Postoji toliko puno moći u Krishnanim očima.
If he just looks at us, that is enough for us.
I ako Krishna samo pogleda na nas, to je sasvim dovoljno.
Srila Prabhupada used to always remember his own spiritual master who said, don't try to see Krishna, try to act in such a way that Krishna will see you.
I Srila Prabhupada bi se uvek setio svog duhovnog učitelja koji bi govorio, nemoj da se trudiš da vidiš Krishnu, već deluj na takav način da Krishna poželi da te vidi.
Don't think Krishna cannot find you.
I nemoj misliti da te Krishna ne može naći.
When you do nice service for Krishna, Krishna's eyes will search for you.
I kada napraviš neku lepu službu za Krishnu, Krishnine oči će te tražiti.
He will find you wherever you are.
I on će te naći gde god da se nalaziš.
And he will look at you with pleasure in his eyes.
I on će pogledati prema tebi sa zadovoljstvom u svojim očima.
And that pleased glance of Krishna will take care of all your miseries.
I taj pogled pun zadovoljstva od strane Krishne će se pobrinuti za sve tvoje nevolje.
The gopis say to each other, oh, everyone is so fortunate.
I gopije kažu jedni drugima, svi su tako srećni.
Krishna looks lovingly at the cows.
Krishna gleda pogledom punim ljubavi na krave.
Krishna looks lovingly at his cow boyfriends.
I Krishna također posmatra svoje dečake pastire.
Krishna turns around and looks lovingly at his parents and the old people who stay back in Vrindavana.
I Krishna se okreće i gleda s ljubavlju na svoje roditelje, na starije stanovnike Vrindavana.
But Krishna doesn't look at us.
Ali Krishna ne gleda nas.
Because he wants to keep our relationship a secret.
Zato što želi da sačuva naš odnos tajnim.
But doesn't he notice how we suffer?
Ali zar on ne primećuje kako mi patimo?
Everyone is fortunate except for us.
I svi su srećni osim nas.
The gopis' heart is full of loving eagerness.
I srce gopije je puno ljubavne žudnje.
And in this way, with these loving eyes, they see Krishna and they see all the details, which are very, very beautiful.
I one tako očima punim ljubavi vide Krishna i sve te divne detalje koji su predivni.
You have to see Krishna through the eyes of love, otherwise you cannot see him.
I morate vidjeti Krishnu kroz oči pune ljubavi, inače ga ne možete vidjeti.
Only loving eyes can actually see Krishna how he is.
Samo oči koje imaju ljubav mogu vidjeti Krishnu onakim kakav on zaista jest.
Do you know the story of Manju and Layla?
Da li vam je možda poznata priča o Manju i Leili?
Manu lived in a village. He was from a Hindu background.
Manju je živeo u selu i on je imao hindu poreklo.
And Leila was from Sarajevo. No, she was from a Muslim background. Lived in the same village as Manu.
A Leila je živela u istom selu kao i Manju i njeno poreklo je bilo muslimansko.
So Manu decided to marry Leila.
Manju je jednom odlučio kako će se venčati s Leilom.
All the Hindu people said, no Manu, don't marry a Muslim girl. This intercommunal marriage it will make trouble.
I sve osobe koje su imale hindu poreklo su rekle, Manja, nemoj to da napraviš, znaš ti, više religijski odnosi, tu uvek ima problema.
The village chief even said, Manu, I can talk to very qualified families and I can recommend you. You will marry a nice Hindu Brahmin girl, not a Muslim.
I onda su mu čak seljani predložili, stani, mi možemo razgovarati sa porodicama, sa očevima u porodicama i onda se možeš oženiti dobrom devojkom iz bramanske hindu porodice. Nemoj se vezivati za ovu devojku.
Manu cried.
Manju je plakao.
No one is as beautiful as Leila.
Niko nije toliko lep kao Leila.
And her character is best.
I njen karakter je najbolji.
Her nose is the oldest. Her nose is a little bit to the left side.
I onda su hindu osobe rekla, da, ali njen nos ide malo na levu stranu.
And she sometimes steals and speaks lies.
I ona ponekad laže i ponekad čak i krade.
Marry someone else.
Zašto se ne ženiš nekom drugom
You
devojkom?
are unnecessarily in love.
Ti si bez ikakve potrebe zaljubljen.
Then Manu said something intelligent. And this one sentence has made its entry into the world literature.
I onda je Manju rekao jednu inteligentnu rečenicu koja mu je omogućila da ostane zabeležen u svetskoj literaturi.
He said to see the beauty of Leila.
On je rekao, kako bi osoba videla lepotu Leile.
My dear village chief. My dear village chief.
Moj dragi seoski poglavar.
To see the beauty of Leila, you need to see through the eyes of Manju.
Kako bi video lepotu Leile, moraš gledati kroz Manjuove oči.
Damayanti, what were the eyes of Manu?
Damayanti, kakve su bile oči Manju?
The eyes of love.
Oči ljubavi.
Then you see something.
Onda ćeš vidjeti nešto.
If you want to see something in Krishna, you must look through the eyes of love. Otherwise, you just can't see Krishna.
I ako želite da vidite Krishnu, onda morate gledati kroz oči ljubavi, inače nećete vidjeti ništa.
The Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, my only goal in life is the Braja Gopis, who were attracted by the nectar shower of Krishna's flute.
I Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur kaže da je njegov jedini cilj u životu Braja Gopije, koje su bile privučene nektarom Krishnine flaute.
I pray to them that they make us able to relish the nectar of Krishna's flute also.
I on kaže, ja im se molim da me učine sposobnim da također mogu da cenim, da se divim nektarom Krishnine flaute.
Great acharyas have paid their obeisances to these village girls because they saw Krishna with the eyes of love. They could see everything of Krishna.
I velike čarije odaju svoje poštovanje ovim seoskim devojkama zato što su one mogle vidjeti Krishnu očima punim ljubave, zato su ga mogli vidjeti zaista kakav jeste.
The great renunciant Sacinandana Swami says about the gopis, I also offer my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of those gopis.
I veliki odvojenik Sacinandana Swami, on kaže, ja odajem svoje ponizno poštovanje lotosovim stopalima gopija.
Only by their mercy can we understand the words that have come out of their mouths.
I samo uz pomoć njihove milosti možemo razumeti reči koje dolaze iz njihovih usta.
So, we will now see what the gopis see.
I sada ćemo vidjeti.
I have the feeling you have to be more qualified because always our microphones break. As if it is a secret you are not meant to hear.
Ja sve vreme imam utisak da morate biti više kvalifikovani zato što naši mikrofoni stalno posustaju, tako da kao da žele da se čuvaju vas u tajni.
I hope you will like this.
Nadam se da ćemo se svidjeti.
We will do a meditation.
Sada ćemo imati meditaciju.
First, we will do a little energy thing. No, I think, please.
Zatvorite oči.
And slowly calm down.
I sada se polako smiriti.
Become aware of the air around you.
Postanite svesni vazduha oko sebe.
You're different from the air.
Vi se razlikujete od njega.
Breathe in very deeply and exhale very deeply.
Udahnite jako duboko i onda izdahnite opet jako duboko.
Slowly bring your attention to the ingoing air.
I polako usmerite svoju pažnju na vazduh koji ulazi i izlazi.
When you breathe in, tell yourself in.
I kada udišete, recite sebi unutra.
When you breathe out, tell yourself out.
I kada izdišete, recite sebi napolje.
The air is different from your body.
Vazduh se razlikuje od vašeg tela.
But it comes into your body and gives you life.
Ali to je ono što dolazi u vaše telo, što vam daje život.
Krishna says, Pranosmi, I am that life of the prana.
Krishna kaže, Pranosmi, ja sam taj život, ja sam prana.
Yes, you breathe very nicely now.
Sada molim vas, dišite pažljivo.
Now please become aware of your body.
A sada postanite svesni svog tela.
Study the feeling of the cloth on your skin.
Počnite da osjećate tkaninu koja se nalazi na vašem telu.
The feeling of the cloth on your skin.
Osjetite tkaninu na vašoj koži.
You're different from the cloth.
Vi se razlikujete od tkanine.
Now bring your attention to the heart area.
Sada usmjerite svoju pažnju na područje srca.
Somewhere there is where you are, the soul.
I negdje tamo se nalazite vi, duša.
You're surrounded by this body and mind, but you're different from the body and the mind.
Vi ste okruženi ovim telom i ovim umom, ali vi se razlikujete od tog tela i od tog uma.
You simply are.
I jednostavno jeste.
The body will die one day.
Telo će jednog dana nestati, umreti.
But you inside the body are eternal.
Ali vi, koji se nalazite unutar tog tela, ste večni.
When you breathe in, imagine you're breathing golden air.
I kada udišete, zamislite kako udišete zlatan vazduh.
And when you breathe out, this air will leave you without the golden color.
I kada izdišete, vazduh vas napušta, ali bez te zlatne boje.
The outgoing air has a neutral color.
I vazduh koji vas napušta je neutralna boja.
But the ingoing air has a golden color.
Ali vazduh koji ulazi u vas ima zlatnu boju.
Breathe this golden colored air into your heart space.
Udišite ovaj vazduh zlatne boje u vaš predeo, u srce.
And think that you are eternally a part of Krishna.
I mislite o tome kako ste večni deo Gospodina Krishna.
Now, we will chant one name of Krishna, Ram. Ram here means Lord Krishna, the Supreme Enjoyer.
A sada ćemo zajedno pevati jedno Krishnino ime Ram, koji znači da je Krishna vrhovni uživalac.
Into this silence, we will now listen meditatively to what the gopis saw when Krishna entered the forest of Vrindavana. We will hear a description of Krishna.
I sada ćemo u ovoj tišini čuti meditaciju, čućemo kako su gopije vidjela Krishna kada on ulazi u šumu Vrindavana.
Krishna and Balarama looked like the best of dancers.
Krishna i Balaram su izgledali poput najboljih plesača.
They appear on the stage of Vrindavana's forest.
Koji su se pojavili na pozornici šume Vrindavana.
On their heads, they have young sprouts of mango leaves.
I na glavama oni su imali mlade izdanke mango listova.
Very soft leaves with which they have decorated their heads.
To su veoma nežni listovi kojima su oni ukrasili svoje glave.
There are peacock feathers decorating their heads.
Palmovo perje se nalazi na njihovim glavama kao ukras.
And bunches of various flowers.
I pregršt raznovrsnog cveća.
Their ears are decorated with the inner part of the lotus flower, which has flower pollen on it.
I njihove uši su ukrašene unutrašnjim delom lotosovog cveta i na sebi ima polen.
In their forest outfit, the Lord has lilies which decorated him.
I kao šumski outfit, Gospodin ima ljiljane koje ga okrašavaju.
In his hand, Krishna keeps rotating a lotus flower.
U svojoj ruci Krishna drži lotus koji okreće u krug.
Both Krishna and Balarama wear garlands around their necks.
I obojice, Krishna i Balarama, imaju garlande u svojih vratova.
Krishna has a four-piece outfit.
I Krishna ima outfit koji se sastoji iz 4 dela.
There's a beautiful smile all over his face.
I na njegovom licu je prelepi osmeh.
And a beautiful pink scarf placed over his shoulders.
I prelepi šal se nalazi na njegovim ramenima.
Krishna has a long shirt that glistens like gold.
Krishna ima dugačku košulju koja se sjaji poput zlata.
He wears his famous red turban on his head.
I on nosi svoj čuveni crveni turban na svojoj glavi.
And he has a multicolored cloth around his waist.
I on ima šarenu tkaninu oko svog pojasa, struk.
Just like Krishna and Balarama, the cowherd boyfriends are also dressed ready to dance along with them.
I poput Krishna i Balarama i dečaci pastiri su obučeni na isti način i spremni su za ples.
They have many different instruments like flutes to be used in Krishna and Balarama's musical service.
I oni imaju prepuno instrumenta poput flauta koji su spremni da budu uključeni u Krishninu službu.
Even the devatas, the demigods, come down from the higher planets and are ready to serve the divine dances.
Čak i devete, čak i polubogovi su došli sa viših planeta kako bi služili Krishnu.
And look at Krishna and Balarama, how they dance.
I samo pogledajte kako Krishna i Balaram plešu.
So many dance steps.
I znaju toliko puno plesačkih povrata.
Sometimes the Gopas would become tired and Krishna would say, you watch me dancing now.
I ponekad dečaci pastiri bi postali umorni, a Krishna bi rekao, sada se odmorite i gledajte mene kako plešem.
I see you are tired, just watch and enjoy.
Vidim da ste se umorili, samo mi posmatrajte i uživajte.
So, as Krishna and Balaram dance, all the cowherd boyfriends see them dancing and facing only them.
I dok Krishna i Balaram plešu, svi dečaci pastiri ih vide kako plešu i kako gledaju upravo samo u njih.
The dance is so wonderful.
I ples je tako predivan.
And the dress of flowers and forest garlands so absolutely fantastic.
I odeća načinjena od cveća i od šumskih plodova je fantastična.
After some time, Krishna seems to become tired.
Nakon nekog vremena, čini se kao da se Krishna umorio.
Immediately, his cowherd boyfriends tell him, lay down and rest your head on my lap, Gopal.
I u istom trenutku dečaci pastiri mu kažu, lezi dole i odmori svoju glavu na mom krilu, Gopal.
And Gopal expands in as many forms as there are cowherd boys to just be with his particular friend, each one on his own.
I onda se Krishna ekspandira u onoliko oblika koliko postoji dečaka pastira, kako bi mogao sa svakim od njih pojedinačno da ima razum.
Krishna is never busy.
Krishna nikada nije zauzet.
He can always expand himself and be with each single one of his devotees.
On se uvijek može ekspandirati i biti sa svakim od nas ponosom.
My dear devotees,
Moji dragi bhakti,
my dear friends,
moji dragi prijatelji,
if you once see Lord Krishna, you become fortunate.
ako jednom vidite Krishnu, to je zaista velika sreća.
If you gaze at Krishna with the eyes of your heart, you become free from the disease of material desire.
Ako gledate Krishnu očima vašeg srca, onda ćete biti oslobođeni od materijalne bolesti.
Lord Krishna is expert at enjoying pastimes in Vrindavana.
Gospodin Krishna je ekspert u uživanju zabava u Vrindavanu.
He plays the flute and wears a forest flower gown.
On svira flautu i on nosi venec koji je načinjen od šumskog cveća.
His wonderful form is bending in 3 places.
I njegov predivan oblik je iskrivljen na 3 mesta.
He has the color of a new rain cloud.
I njegov put je poput boje novog kišnog oblaka.
On his head is a graceful peacock feather.
I na njegovoj glavi nalazi se predivno palmovo pero.
And such beautiful tilak.
I on ima predivan tilak.
And the curly locks.
I ima povrženu kosu.
And the yellow garments.
I žutu odeću.
And the sweet smile which stays on his lips.
I sladak osmeh koji ostaje na njegovim usnama.
Krishna's beauty makes the world wild with joy.
I Krishnina lepota čini svet ludim od radosti.
As I gaze at Krishna under that kadamba tree, Krishna's form mesmerizes me.
I dok gledam Krishnu kako stoji ispred kadamba drveta, njegova lepota me opčinjava.
My heart wants to stay with him.
Moje srce želi da ostane sa njim.
My feet do not want to move from that place.
I moja stopala me ne žele odneti od tog mesta.
One gopi says, I have forgotten everything else.
Jedna gopi kaže, ja sam zaboravila na sve ostalo.
Another gopi says, oh my friend.
I druga gopija kaže, moj prijatelj.
When I look at the sweet nectar of Krishna's form, tears of love flow from my eyes and I fall down unconscious.
Kada gledam Krishnu i njegovu lepotu, suze teku iz mojih očiju i ja padnem na tlo, onesvešćen.
How glorious is the crown on Krishna's head.
I kakva je slavna kruna koja se nalazi na Krishninoj glavi.
How glorious is the flute in his hand.
Koliko je slavna flauta koja se nalazi u njegovoj ruci.
How glorious the threefold bending form.
I koliko je slavna njegova figura koja se je iskrivljena na 3 mesta.
And the tinkling sounds from his ankles are a flood of nectar.
I zvuk zvončića sa njegovih stopala predstavljaju poplavu nektara.
One other gopi says, I want to become a bumblebee.
I druga gopija kaže, ja želim da postanem pčela.
For then I can easily fly to Krishna's lotus feet and sing his glories.
Zato što onda mogu jako lako otići do Krishninih stopala i pevati o njegovim slavama.
I will never worship anyone else than Krishna.
Ja nikada neću obožavati nikoga drugog osim Krishna.
So, for the rest of the seminar, I want to tell you about an idea which the gopi had.
I sada u ovom vremenu koje nam je prostalo, želim da vam ispričam jednu ideju koju jedna gopija imala.
The gopis wanted to go with Krishna into the forest, but they were forced to stay behind.
Gopije su želele da idu sa Krishnom u šumu, ali su bile primorane da ostanu u selu.
Because their relationship to Krishna is very intimate and private.
Zato što je njihov odnos sa Krishnom jako intiman i jako privatan.
It is not meant to be known.
I taj odnos nije namenjen tome da bude poznat svima.
So one gopi had a good idea.
Jedna gopija imala jednu dobru
She said,
ideju.
let us run into the forest
Hajde da otrčimo u šumu
and we will hide behind the leaves and the creepers.
i onda ćemo se sakriti iza listova u žbunju.
And from a hidden place, we will see the nectar of Krishna's dancing.
I onda ćemo iz tog skrivenog mesta moći da posmatramo nektar Krišninog plesa.
From a hidden place we hear the nectar of his singing.
Iz tog skrivenog mesta moći ćemo također da čujemo nektar njegovog pevanja.
Then afterwards we will quickly return home.
A nakon toga ćemo se brzo vratiti svojim kućama.
So I request you to find a neighbor.
I sada bih vas ja zamolila da nađete partnera.
And I have to say before you find a neighbor. And you will have to talk to your neighbor as if you were hidden in the forest of Vrindavana and seeing Krishna.
I sada bih vas zamolila, pre nego što počnete da pričate, trebalo bi da kažete, da ispričate svom partneru šta ste vidjeli, jer ste vi upravo bili sakriveni u tom šumu i šumu.
Please don't speculate.
Molim vas, nemojte da špekulirate.
But just repeat what you have heard or maybe what you have seen in your meditation.
Jednostavno ponovite ono što ste čuli, to jest vidjeli u vašoj meditaciji koju smo imali.
If you don't find a neighbor very quickly, you can join a group of 2 and become a group of 3.
I ako ne možete jako brzo naći partnera, onda se možete priključiti jednoj grupi gdje se već nalaze 2 osobe i biti grupa od 3 osobe.
Please start now.
Molim vas, počnite.
I would like to know what you have discussed. So, Hare Krishna, of course you can continue talking about Krishna after the seminar and outside of the seminar.
Naravno, možete da nastavite vaš razgovor o Krišni kad se seminar završi.
For now, I just would like to remind you of the story of the Sultan.
I u ovom trenutku želim da vas podsjetim na priču o sultanu.
Remember, he was not able to move.
Sjetite se, on nije bio u stanju da se pokrene.
But he was aroused.
Ali on jednostavno bio pokrenut.
In much the same way, we are not really able to move very nicely in our spiritual life.
I na isti način mi nismo u stanju da se na jedan fin način pokrećemo u našem duhovnom životu.
Jiv Jago, we must be awakened.
Mi moramo biti probuđeni.
And 2 things can awaken us. It is, first of all, the chanting of the holy name.
I 2 su stvari koje nas mogu pokrenuti pre svega, to je mantranje, pevanje svetog imena.
And then hearing about Krishna and talking also about Krishna.
I onda također slušanje i razgovaranje o Krišni.
So in the seminar we are training this. We are training.
I na ovom seminaru mi jednostavno pokušavamo iznova, mi smo trenirani.
We are spiritually dead.
Mi smo duhovno mrtvi.
We suffer from the disease called avidya, this inner darkness.
I patimo od bolesti koja se zove avidya, to je unutrašnja tama.
But if we just learn to talk, you will see miracles will happen.
Ali ako naučimo da govorimo o Krišni, onda ćete vidjeti čudo će se dogoditi.
I do realize that at this moment it is for some of us a little unusual, and therefore some of us, and we are challenged in our comfort zone. We are asked to do something which we never do.
Ja razumijem da u ovom trenutku to može biti nešto neobičajno i novo za nas i onda smo izazvani da izađemo iz naše zone komfora, da uradimo nešto što se od nas očekuje.
I realize this. I know that for some of us we feel, oh, this is something formality.
Ja razumijem, u nama osjećamo, ovo je nešto za matačice.
I know. Ja znam srpski muškarski. No, this is to wake you up.
Ne, ovo je nešto što će vas razbuditi.
Krishna Katha makes you spiritually alive, but you have to attend this a little bit, not just 1 time, 2 times, regularly.
To je nešto što će vam pomoći, ali morate raditi to iznova, ne jednom, ne 2 puta, nego stalno.
So tomorrow in the seminar we will learn about the main obstacle or roadblock on our way to Krishna.
I sutradan na seminaru mi ćemo slušati o glavnoj prepreci na našem putu ka Krishni.
We will confront the shadow for a moment.
Mi ćemo se suočiti sa senkom za trenutak.
But then we will hear about Krishna's flute.
I onda ćemo opet čuti o Krishnine flauti.
And we will hear about the tapasya which this flute did in order to become a flute.
I onda ćemo čuti kako je tapasya strogost napravila ta flauta kako bi postala Krishnina flauta.
So I wish you a wonderful evening. Now also it becomes a little bit cooler. We can survive.
Želim vam predivnu večer sada kada je postalo malo hladnije, tako da možemo preživjeti.
Have a wonderful time for the rest of today's second full day of the retreat, and I hope to see you tomorrow at the same time.
Sada imajte predivni ostatak ovog drugog dana kampa i nadam se da ćemo vas vidjeti sutra ponovo u isto vreme.
Thank you very much. Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki Krishna and Balarama ki Giriraj Maharaj ki